Within our financial management solution, we can come up here to our home page and select our different roles. And we're going to now focus in on asset management for a few minutes and talk about some of the features and capabilities of this particular area of the N4 Cloud Suite Financials solution. So I'm currently in my asset manager role. And when I come to my asset management role, I'm brought to a landing page. And this landing page is configurable so that an agency or an organization within an agency can configure the widgets. You can even push out the ability to move the widgets around on the landing pages to the individual employees themselves. As the asset manager, up at the top, in addition to being able to access things directly here from the hyperlinks on the page, I can also manage my activity through the menu structure or go to different areas of the application within the menu structure. Within asset management, we have an incredibly flexible setup and configuration option. So if I select this asset system setup, you'll see that I have the ability to define a variety of different components of the solution, such as asset types, templates, locations, groups, calendars, our depreciation books, etc. So that is really where the heart and soul of the solution configuration is, and that allows us to then quickly bring in assets from a spreadsheet upload. We can manually enter an asset directly into asset accounting if we are provided that capability. We also can bring in assets directly from purchasing and accounts payable, as well as assets from project accounting. So here I've got some analytics on my homepage that show me, in this case, a breakdown of my total assets by type. I can drill into the details here to see a little bit more information about the asset types, but we're going to come here first to our manage assets and talk a little bit about how we define an asset. When I select manage assets, it brings me to essentially a search page that on the left-hand side, you'll see that I have the capability to select or search for a particular asset. You can add additional fields here. But I also, when I select an asset over on the right-hand side, I have a sort of a quick view page of that asset. So quickly here for my asset number 2, which is a server, I can see where I am in my depreciation to book value. And my life-to-date depreciation is about 70%. I can see a synopsis of repair history. If this is a group asset and has multiple different items or improvements associated with it, I can see that here, adjustments and transfers, as well as journal entries that have been posted. So if I select, let's just go down to asset number 4, I can see a little bit more information about this. I've got a few different adjustments that have been made, and I can drill into the details of this particular asset by double-clicking. When I come into the actual asset record itself, I've got information about this asset, such as the description, the tag number, is it depreciable or non-depreciable, information about what asset type it's associated with, the chart of account structure associated with it, is it tagged to a particular location, division, or does it have an owner? Is it an inventory related item? Is it a work in progress or process asset? As I mentioned, you can have a major asset and then sort of minor betterment assets attached to it. So here I only have one. I can also see an adjustment history. So here I can see all of the different transactions. And again, if I need to drill into the details to see the nature of that particular adjustment, I can simply by opening the record here by using the open icon or by double clicking into the asset. And then you'll see that I have also an area where I can add additional comments or attachments to this particular asset. Up at the top, you'll see that I have the ability to initiate additional transactions associated with this asset. So if I wanted to transfer or dispose of this asset directly from here, I can do that, provided that I have the security access to access the transactions. These transactions can go through a workflow process to ensure that we've met all the business requirements of the organization prior to finalizing that particular transaction. In addition to the ability to bring in my assets from multiple different places, there are a lot of different actions that I can take within the solution. So you'll see here that I have the ability to do my depreciation calculations, to produce barcode labels for physical inventory, to look and update depreciation balances, to do mass disposals, transfers, and additions and adjustments. So those capabilities to make your asset manager's lives a little bit easier. If I have a new building construction and I'm moving a whole host of assets from one location to another, we have the ability to automate those transfers using the mass transactions capability within asset management. So additionally, you'll see there's some closed processing, which is going to, again, produce all of my depreciation information and push that into my general ledger. We also have the ability here within asset accounting to do asset listings and reporting. We're just going to come in and show you an example of an asset addition report. So here on all of our different reports and listings, you'll see that we have the ability to filter the information within the report or the listing by the fields at the top of the page. So if I put in, I want to filter this by an asset type of IT, if I wasn't sure what that asset type was, I can select that from the drop-down box. But I can go ahead and filter that, and then my results will be brought up based on the parameters that I put in the search criteria above. Every area of the application that is considered an asset listing or a report, I have the ability to create a report from this particular listing, export that to a CSV, or print to a PDF. I also have the ability to personalize this so I can add additional fields to this particular grid or listing for my particular user ID. Within the solution, we also have a tool called Spreadsheet Designer. We use that tool to upload or download information with a direct linkage into Microsoft Excel. And that is another way that we can do mass transaction adds or changes within the solution. Based on all the information that we're bringing into the solution, we have the ability to then again roll that up from an analytics perspective. So in this case, I can see things like my total assets by type and drill into additional detail for that. When I come into my Manage Assets page as an asset manager, we looked at the original page here, the original tab where my assets were. I can also see information by and rolled up by asset type. So in this case, I can look at my buildings, and down below, this is a linked view, so it'll show me all of the specific assets in that particular asset type. So again, it's dynamic, so as I change information here on the right-hand side, it's going to bring me up to the asset listing. Again, this is a report on the fly, so all of these listings can be used as reports within the solution. I also have views here of assets in various different statuses, so your asset managers can view information, for instance, in an unreleased or a released status, assets that are in process, assets that have been disposed, and assets that are in process of coming in from another module within the solution, such as accounts payable or project accounting. So that gives you a quick overview of the asset capabilities within the solution, and we will go ahead and move on to the next video.